morning, students. Myself Abhishek Sharma from Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. Today we are continuing with chapter 3 of class 12th IED. In my previous lecture we have discussed about liberalizations. Now today we are going to discuss two components of new economic policy, that is privatization and globalization. Privatization means transfer of ownership, management and control of public sector enterprise to the entrepreneur in the private sector. Privatization implies greater role of private sector in the economic activities of the country. Over the year, Indian government has diluted its stake in several public sector, including IBP, Maruti Udyog, etc. Privatization can be done in two ways. First is transfer of ownership and management of public sector companies from government to the private sector. Second, privatization of the public sector undertakings by selling of part of the equity of public sector units to the public. This process is known as disinvestment. Now, what is globalization? Globalization means integrating the national economy with the world economy through removal of barriers on international trade and capital movements. Globalization is the outcome of the policies of liberalization and privatization. Globalization is generally understood to mean integration of the economy of the country with the world's economy. However, it is a complex and complicated process. It is an outcome of the set of the various policies that aim to transform the world towards the greater interdependence and integration. It involves creation of work and activities transcending economic, social and geographical boundaries. Now, what are the positive and negative traits of the globalization? So, the new economic policies provide a specific list of high technology and high investment priority industries in which automatic permission will be able for foreign direct investment up to 51% of the foreign equity, greater access to the global market, advanced technology, better future prospect for large industries of developing countries like India to become the important players in the international arena. In respect to the foreign technology agreement, automatic permission is provided in high priority industries up to a sum of 1 crore. No permission is now required for hiring foreign technicians or testing bodies in India. In order to make international adjustment of Indian currencies, rupee was devalued in July 1991 by 20%. It stimulates export, discourage import and raise the influx of foreign capital in India. To integrate Indian economy, the World Union budget of 1992-93 made Indian rupees partially converted and then the rupee made was fully convertible in 93-94. In order to bring the Indian economy within the ambit of global competition, the government has modified the custom duty to a considerable extent. Accordingly, the peak rate of custom duty has been reduced from 250% to 10% in 2007 and 2008 budget. Globalization has been criticized by some of the intellectual scholars because, according to their point of view, benefits of globalizations accrue more to the developed countries rather than the underdeveloped or developing countries like India, as they are able to expand their market in the other countries easily, just like MNCs or by FDI. So it is beneficial for the developed countries rather than underdeveloped or countries which are developing. Globalization comprises the welfare and identity of people belonging to the poor countries. It comprises the welfare and identity of the people belonging to the poor countries. So it can be now easily identified. Now the last point for this point, market driven globalization increases the economic disparities among the nation and the people. It is very important point. So students, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.